rather go to like a trade school that gets me right in. Like hair schools.
Yeah.
Beauty schools. They're not doing like, oh, we have to do, I don't know, geometry 101 first. Like they're going straight into what you're doing, and I think that's great. And I don't think anyone should let anyone make them feel down for going to
number, taking a name, you code at the door, and welcome to the game.
Hi, welcome back to another episode of Dear Dilemma. As you can tell, my lips are still bruised. It's 2 weeks later. Don't worry, guys. It's because we've knocked all our filming out in one night. Don't worry. They'll get better. And don't leave the mean comments alone, okay? Anyways, I just needed to address that because I just realized we're like in another week. Our topic today is the dilemma between state college, private college, and community college. What's good? What's bad? What should you do? What should your choice be? Should you go to college? All the college things. I went to a community college, kind of.
Yeah.
What did you consider? IU East, technically IU East is a part of IU, but there's not a campus you can stay on with dorms. It's not a community like Ivy Tech, but kind of in a way.
It's similar.
Like a mini state college. Where did you go to? You went to a state college, right?
I actually went to a private college.
Oh, she's rich.
No. So I actually went to St. Francis in Fort Wayne. I absolutely loved it. Go Cougars.
So proud of you.
But it's NAIA, so it's not Division 1, 2, or 3.
Oh, wait,
it's kind of like
NAIA.
in between. Yeah, I played you guys some golf a little bit, actually.
Wow.
So
she was a golfer, guys.
I was a golfer, so
I
one of the only reasons that I was actually able to afford to go there was kind of a combination of things. My parents got divorced before I went to college, and I was able to use the lesser income parent.
Yep. We love
which
that.
helped a lot with financial aid, to say the least.
Yep.
And the other thing I was able to do is get a partial academic scholarship and a partial golf scholarship. So
that helps.
That helped. I mean, I still came out of school with debt. And then I decided to go back and get my master's in business that I don't use, that I'm still paying on.
Don't we love that?
Yeah.
I don't use my degree either. Well, technically, this is kind of using it.
Well, yeah,
I got a degree in communications. This is about as far as we've gotten with that, and I'm still paying it off. But like you said, the financial aid, my parents were already divorced.
Yeah.
So we use a lesser income. And that helped so much. Like, I didn't have to owe anything until my last year when my mom thought, I'm going to get married again. And I was like, why couldn't you have waited one more semester?
Yeah.
Which then put me into having to pay back loans. I will say this, as someone who's gone to college, and who is engaged to someone who has not gone to college, I used to think, no, you need to go to college. Why would you not go? You're not going to, you're not going to get the job you want. I think now that I've gone, that is a lie. I think you should go if you want to go. If you don't have to, you can still get the job kind of that you want. Obviously, I don't know. I feel like college is a scam unless you're going to be like a doctor, a nurse, something very specific. Very specific, yeah. Other than that, I'm like, I feel like a lot of kids go because that's what their parents told them to do. And then they're like me and they're like, sure, we'll just go with communications.
Well, yeah, and I mean, Brooke and I are in our 30s. I feel like a lot of the pressure of even the schools, like the academic counselors and stuff, they're like, you have to go to college, you have to go to college, you have to go to college.
Like, let people choose.
They never really, like, I don't think, pushed us into even
other
considering
options, like trade schools.
Yes.
Take a year off. See if that's really what you want to do.
Yes.
Like, just because you don't go to college doesn't mean that you don't amount to anything. Like, my fiance, he's a tattoo artist. That's what he did right out of high school. He never went to college. He just started tattooing, and he's very successful with that.
Yeah.
I got a degree in communications, and I don't use it.
It's hard, though. You know, you're literally defining your future career at 18. It's so young. I think it's a disservice, honestly. Sometimes you don't know what you want. And a waste,
like a waste, because
money,
time. When you went to college, did you stay with what you wanted to go in as, or did you change?
I actually did, and now I still do it 11 years later. But I still like it, but I'm not probably of the common denomination. Like,
No.
I feel like a lot of people choose
changed.
something and they change, or they change even like later on in life. And I think that's okay too.
Yeah, and also I think it's okay that if you didn't go to college, or if you did and you realize, like, if you're in your 30s or 40s, and you're like, you know what, I want to go back to be a nurse now. You can do that. There's no...
Absolutely.
I mean, people have graduated at like 70 years old because they just wanted to say they got a college degree.
Yeah.
It's okay to do that. I did change. I originally went for teaching, and by the second year I realized I will a child because I just don't have the patience, which is crazy because everyone's like, you're so good with kids.
You are good with kids, but
I don't think I'd be a
I
teacher.
get it. It's
Teachers
they're
are
stressful,
so
yeah.
underpaid, and it would have frustrated me.
Yeah.
So then I was like, well, I got to do something, because now I'm just, can't do nothing. And then I switched it, which I always liked communications in high school. I always did like the TV announcements, the radio TV class. And now that I went for that degree, I almost wish I would have taken it more serious and went to like a school that has a good degree, or a good, what am I trying to say?
Like program for it?
Yes, program, like Ball State or somewhere that's like focused harder, because then I would probably be living somewhere doing like the news or some type of fun show, or, hopefully we'll get there one day.
Yeah, I think it's hard though, because like you said, it's just a lot of people were forced into college, and I think made wrong decisions at 18, which is bound to happen. My husband actually didn't go to college either. He's like one of the smartest people that I freaking know, but he chose the military instead and got like technical training. So he's like trained in maintenance. He used to be an aircraft mechanic, work on the A-10s, which is actually one of the coolest planes. If you don't know, it's one of the only military planes that the plane was built around the gun instead of the gun added in to it. So it's kind of neat.
Look at him.
I think it's hard because you're on this certain career path, and something might drastically change for you, and that's okay too. I mean, in my physical therapy assisting program in college, I had like 45-year-olds, like 2 of them
that decided
and they were just like, I just decided I was like doing this and this and this, and I didn't like it, and this is what I feel like I'm called to do. I want to do this now. Yeah. And there's so many people, like you said, that go back to school for nursing or something later in life, and I think it's okay. It's people get so hung up on what their job title is. And I don't think that that's what truly matters. And I don't know that actually that many people care. Like, hey, how are you? What do you do for a living? Oh, okay, that's cool. And then they move on. Like,
what's that?
Like, why does that matter so much to a lot of people?
I don't know. I think it's silly, but I also think our generation is breaking that mold, and you got to go to college and telling your kids you have to, because if I were to have kids, I think I'd say, no, do what you want to do. If you want to take a year off and figure it out, that's fine. We'll support you, like, as long as you have a job. Like, you can't just live off of us, but, of something that sort. I also want to bring up the difference between, people always get made fun of if they do go to a local college like Ivy Tech, compared to, like, a bigger... like IU,
Ball State or IU or something,
And I went to IU East, which is a smaller campus of IU. I still have my degree, says Indiana University, and I paid way less fees compared to if I would have actually went to IU. Or same thing with Ivy Tech. They have great programs, and just because they're Ivy Tech, people are like, oh, well, you're dumb and you go to Ivy Tech. No, I would have, like, if I went to nursing, I would have went to Ivy Tech, who doesn't play around, and they go straight to like nursing stuff, rather than like IU, where you have to take all these silly classes your first year.
Prerequisites,
that you don't even need. I would rather go to like a trade school that gets me right in. Like hair schools, beauty schools. They're not doing like, oh, we have to do, I don't know, geometry 101 first. Like, they're going straight into what you're doing, and I think that's great. And I don't think anyone should let anyone make them feel down for going to a local college.
And a lot of like Ivy Tech, for instance, they have it's called Next Level Jobs. Have you heard of that?
No.
There's certain job tracks, like degree programs, that you can go to, and if it says next level, and if you've never gone to college before ever, you can sometimes get all of your schooling for free if you qualify.
That's nice.
So it's like HVAC technicians, like that program, you can get it for free because there's such a demand in the communities and all of that for those people, for those individuals to get training, that you can get it for free, which is kind of amazing, really, if you think about it.
And you come out making very decent money right off the bat, and you don't have to pay student loan debt.
Yeah.
I think it's another thing. Student loans are scams. I think that one, make college affordable, and if you can't make it affordable, make sure you're truly telling your students when they're taking out loans all of the fees and everything that comes with it, because you're not told majority of the stuff, and then when you get out of college, they're like, okay, you start owing this back like tomorrow, and you're like, wait a second, I don't even, what is like all this stuff. I think,
which one do I pay first?
You're
what do I
so
do?
misinformed about it.
And like, for instance, unsubsidized loans, I believe those start accumulating interest from the second you take them out, and then subsidized don't until like 6 months after you graduate or something. So like, you want to do the unsubsidized first and pay those off, and like they don't tell you that or give you counseling on that, which is frustrating. A
little warning would be nice.
Yeah,
I think because my loans coming out of college, I think was like, I was really lucky. It was like $6,000 or maybe $5,000. I now think I would almost, and probably should do this, is go to a bank or the bank I use and get a personal loan, because the interest rate could be lower.
Yeah.
And then you're combining all of your different student loans into one and paying one. I think that's how it is now. I think mine only comes out, my student loan just comes out once. Like it's a combined.
Yeah.
But it would be nice to like maybe see what the interest rate and consolidate and see if you can get a lower rate.
Yeah, because right now I have
especially
like
coming out right out of college.
I think I have 4 different ones, but their interest rates are all really low. Like 5.6% interest is the highest one I have, so I would never go take a personal loan for it.
Yeah, well now, but
back then it would have been maybe different. But I do think it's hard because I think in-state schools are really important to look at. I think if you go out of state, you're just going to be hit with a wild amount of tuition that like is not possible.
Unless you're like going for, like you're getting recruited for a sport.
Yes. If you're doing that, or you have a full ride or a partial ride.
For us, if I really wanted to go for marine biology, which is I always wanted to do, and then I was like, oh, I'm not going to do it, I would have had to move to a coastal school.
Yeah. Like
Florida, somewhere where you have to be near an ocean to continue that.
I actually considered going to college out in California. I toured the school. I really loved it. And my aunt offered for me to live with her for a year to establish residency. So I could have lived and worked there for a year and then started college. And it would have paid in-state tuition. But I ended up then getting recruited for golf, so then I was able to do that instead. But I think that's an option. Like if you have a family member in a different state, you could go live with them and work for a year and take kind of a gap year and then go to school and pay in-state tuition. But I do think community college, trade school, like Ivy Tech or IU East, I think those are great options. And you don't get like the full college experience per se.
Still.
But you still can go. I mean, you can go visit your friends for a weekend and stay at Ball State or stay at Notre Dame or whatever it is.
I don't know what it's like now, but we were lucky when I went because we had this apartment complex that was majority, like there was the basketball house and the volleyball house, and majority of the kids, that was the closest apartment complex that was affordable. So it was almost like mini dorms in a way, and it was fun, and like people had parties and things like that. So you still kind of got that experience, but like you said, like we would go to Ball State or IU for a weekend and stay with our friends that we knew if we really wanted to like go to a bigger party, people we didn't know. I was also going to say too, there's a difference between class sizes. So, you know, if you go local, like Ivy Tech or here, like IU East, your classes are a lot smaller, which means you can get that better one-on-one time with your professor if you need it, compared to if you went to a bigger college, like, you know, IU or I don't know, like Florida State or whatever, where they're huge, and then you're in a class with like 150 students and you're not getting that help. So I think that was nice too, to go to a smaller college, to be able to get that extra help, or just to have a smaller community where it's not like you're, you know, if you have anxiety, you're like, oh my gosh, I'm in a class with like 150.
I agree so much with that statement because, like I said, I went to a private school. It was smaller. My class sizes were a lot smaller.
Like
Earlham? Probably similar. It was bigger than Earlham, but yeah, I mean, a good comparison, I would say. So I really liked having that smaller class size and just the ability. I feel like I made friends easier, and I made a lot of like lifelong connections, and I also feel like the professors were more willing to
Yes.
connect you with people in the community that could help you with like internships and stuff, because they personally knew you, so they're like, oh, you know, I
Yeah.
actually have a buddy that owns this company, like that would be a great summer internship for
You're
you,
not going
or
to get
different
that
things.
sometimes at larger schools.
Yeah, I feel like you just get lost in the shuffle sometimes, or like if there's an issue with your class schedule and you have to go see an advisor, it's so much easier to just run down the advisor office and be like, hey, can you help me with this and this? And
Yeah.
they're like, who are you? You know, if you're in a big school, that happens a lot more. So I do think
Yeah.
that there's something to be said about that, but you have to weigh the pros and the cons of it for everybody. Situation's different.
Let us know what you think. What's worth it? Is it worth sometimes for college? Is it worth it to go to a bigger school compared to a smaller school, or a private school to an in-state school or a trade school? Let us know what you think in the comments. Make sure to follow us on all of our social medias, TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube at Dear Dilemma Official.
See you next time.